Chicopee celebrating Mental Health Awareness Month with a flag raising this morning at Chicopee City Hall. And that's just one of our stops today as we take you town by town. Mental Health Awareness Month is recognized here in the United States each May and has been observed every year since 1949. To help support Mental Health Month, Chicopee officials encourage people to connect with friends, family, and other individuals to strike up some positive dialogue about mental health. May is also Foster Care Awareness Month, a time to acknowledge families and professionals who help children and youth in care find permanent homes and connections. Today, the Gandara Center held a foster care appreciation luncheon at noon at their corporate office in Springfield. Foster parents were recognized for all their hard work and dedication to the youth they serve, including one who will be retiring after 23 years of service. And finally, Town by Town takes us to the Holyoke Public Library. This afternoon, author Joshua Shanley spoke with residents from 1:30 to 2:30. Shanley's the author of the book Connecticut River Valley Flood of 1936, which is about massive amounts of rain in the spring of 1936 that left tens of thousands homeless, unemployed, and without power for weeks. The book covers the timeline of events as well as the future of floods.